They Live was even more accurate than I thought it was, because for anyone who hasn't come across it, and they can go on YouTube, put John Carpenter They Live in, and they can see the whole movie in sections. What happens is it's set about now. It's set in the future from when it was released in 1988, I think it was, but it was set about now. There's a massive economic depression going on. There's people living in tents and corrugated iron makeshift, quote, villages on wasteland all over this American city where it's based. And this guy arrives, the kind of central character, and he's trying to get work in the building trade. He's just walking from city to city trying to get work. So at the start of the movie, he gets some work on this building site. And at the end of his first day, one of them asked, have you got anywhere to stay? And he said, well, no, I've got nowhere to stay. He said, well, come with me and I'll give you somewhere to stay. And they go to this tent, corrugated iron, makeshift village on some wasteland. And as he's observing during the evening, they've rigged up a television on this village, and one or two of them are watching the mainstream program, and suddenly something else kicks in. And it's a man's face, and he's saying, they're here, they're controlling us. And it cuts out and back to the original program. And then this builder guy, he realizes something strange and is going on at the church across the road, which involves some of the people that stay at this village. So anyway, there's then a police state raid, and they come along with bulldozers, and they raise the village, and they arrest people and scatter everybody. Next morning, the builder comes back and goes into the church when it's all calmed down, and he finds these boxes, and he grabs a box, runs into an alleyway to open it up, see what's in it, and when he looks in it, it's sunglasses, which bewilders him and disappoints him. Sunglasses, what's the point of all that? So he gets one of the pairs of sunglasses, puts it in his pocket, throws the others in the trash, and walks out of the alleyway into the main street. And he's walking along, and everything seems normal. And then he puts the glasses on. And when he looks through the glasses, suddenly advertisements saying drink Coca-Cola or vacation in Jamaica are suddenly now, through the glasses, saying stay asleep, obey authority, don't question. He looks at a dollar bill, and instead of a dollar bill, it just says, this is your God. He then goes to a newsstand. He opens the equivalent of like Time or Newsweek, and through his naked eyes, it looks like it normally does. Through the glasses, it's all subliminals telling you to stay asleep, to obey authority, etc. Then a man comes to buy a paper, and he looks human through naked eyes, but through the glasses, he's anything but human. And this guy starts to realize that a significant number, nothing like the majority, a small minority, but in significant positions, like he looks at the television where the president's making a speech, and through the glasses, the president's not human. And through his eyes, he is. And the crux of the story is this, which is leading me back to the moon, is that they find eventually that there is a broadcast signal coming from a big dish at the top of the television tower in this city, and this is having the effect of preventing people decoding, i.e. seeing, these non-human entities hiding behind human form, and preventing them from seeing all the subliminal messages all around them that are dictating their sense of reality. And I'm saying in the book, backing it up with evidence, by the way, that if you take that dish on the top of that television tower in the movie to be the moon, then you've pretty much got the situation we're in. And then we go to the next stage of what I'm saying here, and that is, this is the modus operandi, it seems to me. First of all, they move the moons in to the target planet. By moving the moon in, they basically wipe the slate clean in the society on that planet that was there at the time. And when they move this moon in, this colossal planet moon, the Zulu legends say, and my goodness me, they're supported by legends all over the world, that catastrophes destroyed what was termed the Golden Age. Incredible geological catastrophes, volcanoes, earthquakes, massive tidal waves, and this is a common theme, Patrick, around the world in these legends, the earth turned over. Now, why would the earth turn over? But if you move the moon in, it's going to turn over, at least to an extent, because the moon, the earth is at the angle it is, therefore creating the seasons that we experience, because of the moon. And it's interesting, too, that the legends, or common theme among the legends, is that these serpent gods, as they often refer to them, taught humans about the seasons. Now, why on earth would they have to teach humans about the seasons when they would have, in the normal course of events, have experienced the seasons for generations and know them better than anybody? Because the seasons came when the Earth moved to the angle that it is now, and therefore its relationship and association with the sun. And so once they've wiped the slate clean, then the planet settles down, and the predator race, as I will call it, then starts to genetically manipulate the body computer systems of the target population, and introduce a new genetics which is tuned into this moon, what I call the moon matrix, these transmissions. And it's interesting, this very week, Patrick, this is a major story which has been given a lot of coverage in this country, I must say. And it's about the fact that this guy, Craig Ventner, who's described as a maverick biologist and entrepreneur, has announced through an article in a magazine called Science, journal called Science, that they have created an artificial cell in a laboratory. And therefore, they have created what we call life by being able to create it synthetically. But then the next question from me comes is this: how do you know that the human form, at least significant parts of it, that we take to be natural, how do you know that that's not synthetic? How do you know that's not been manipulated in the same way? Because one of the themes of this predator race, whether it's called the Anunnaki in Sumerian belief, or whether it's called the Chitauri, the children of the serpent, or Python in Zulu belief, is their great advanced knowledge of genetics. And it seems to me that they're saying, oh, this is incredible, you know, synthetic cells, synthetic DNA, in effect, have been created. But have they? Or is it just another form of synthetic that we know, and what we consider to be natural is also synthetic in that way?
Yeah.
And it's funny because these people who've done this, like this Craig Venter, are talking about it in computer terms. They're saying things like a program without a hard drive, the DNA doesn't do anything by itself, but when the software is loaded into the computer, the body they're referring to as a computer, in this case, the second bacterium, as they're talking about, amazing things are possible. And he says it's pretty stunning when you just replace the DNA software in a cell, and the cell instantly starts reading that new software and starts making a whole new set of proteins. And within a short while, all the characteristics of the first species disappear and a new species emerges. That's pretty important change, he says, in how we approach and think about life. And it's really interesting. Again, you know, everything connects. What we were talking about earlier, Patrick, about this is a time when everything comes to the surface and everything comes out. Human genetic development is now starting, at least in theme, not advancement, starting to mirror what was done to human genetics. And it tuned us in to this moon matrix, this hive mind, via the reptilian brain, appropriately, which is fundamental to human behavior because it's our survival reaction system.